The following presentation is brought to you by kmmedia.pro. Please visit kmmedia.pro for more information. Now stay right where you are as we present. Welcome to Positive Talk Radio, evolving ideas, one conversation at a time. Great guests, dynamic stories and interviews, plus new thoughts on a wide range of topics and concepts. I hope that you'll hang with me, Kevin McDonald, my friends, and of course, you. As together we work to understand why we are all here and what we can do to make our world a better place for all of us. To be happy, be kind, and live in peace together. Yep, that's Positive Talk Radio. And welcome everybody to a Wednesday edition of Positive Talk Radio. We are so happy that you're here because, Eric is in charge of the weather around here, and he tells me that next week we're going to actually start having summer. Is that right, Eric? You promised.
I am not in charge of the weather, but yes, I think we'll probably see a little more sunshine next week if that's what you're hoping for.
That's exactly what I'm hoping for. We got a great show for you today, and I want to thank Eric for being here and managing the board and taking good care of us to make sure that everybody's just sounding just the way we're supposed to, and it's just awesome. And I've got a couple of beautiful ladies here, and I want to introduce, first of all, is somebody who I have grown very, very fond of in the last 6 or 8 months, and she is dynamic. She is my consultant. I'm not exactly sure what we call her these days, but in any event, Holly Berry is here. Holly, how are you?
Hello, happy Wednesday.
It is a happy Wednesday. We were looking forward to this because we're actually kind of kicking off a new episode with this interview and with this show today. Would you like to tell everybody what it is, or you're going to make me do it?
I would be honored to. So we're wanting to kind of launch into a repeating segment. Kevin's wanted to do this, I think, for was it originally you started it back in 2004 a little bit? 2003. Yeah. And so this was a theme that he wanted to do back then, and I am more than happy to help. And this might be one way he's going to finally harangue me into getting on the show in a consistent way. But the name he came up with it for was Angels Among Us. And kind of the point is to bring the people into the, attention, the spotlight that help make the world a better place, that share their time, their energy, their resources to actually do good things. Nonprofits, if in the future we're going to have a way where you can refer people, even if it was that amazing person in front of you that paid for your gas before you pulled up to the pump, just things like that, and help really share the smiles and let people know that there are good things and there are good people out there, and you're not alone.
There used to be a time when you could buy somebody gas. Now you got to take a loan out to buy somebody gas. It's pretty remarkable. And the last time I did this segment and we introduced it was way back in 2003 in December. And Beverly Graham was here. She's at that time managed Operation Sack Lunch, and it was a really, really good moment in time. And today's another really good one, and we started this one off with I think the best we could do, and so I'm going to let you, Holly, introduce Alex for us.
I will. Well, you name dropped her. We'll let you come out and talk here in a minute, Alex. And Alex has a ton to say. She has an awesome event coming up that people can participate in. So right before we launch into that, I just want to let everyone know that we'll have a trivia quiz prize for $100 giveaway tomorrow when I can pop the trivia quiz from one of Kevin's sponsors. I also have a lot of really good resources that we can cover found on WebMD. It was an article reviewed most recently by Dan Brennan, MD, on October 25th, 2021, WebMD, and that will be part of where the information for the quiz trivia quiz will come from for that prize as well. So with that, then I'm going to introduce Alex Frazier. She is the founder of PawsWithCause. And Alex, do you want to introduce yourself, give a little bit of an origin story about PawsWithCause, and tell our listeners how they can participate with this amazing event you have coming up over the next month and all about it?
I sure will. Thank you so much, Holly. Hey, Kevin, it's great to be with you again. Thanks
it's
for
awesome.
having me on.
I learned so much on this show. $100 for what are we doing? Anyways, we'll talk about that later. Alex, it's wonderful to have you here. It's great, and I love your cause. I love what you do. So tell everybody what you do. As a matter of fact, you were on the Channel 5 just not too long ago, and they did a segment on you, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure did. It was King 5 Evening Magazine, and we were at the Aegis Living in Kent, working with folks from a memory care and dementia facility, showing them how easy it was to paint and getting them involved with the shelter animals.
Which is really cool. I saw that, and you had kittens there, and it was so heartfelt when they were having the opportunity to pet the little kitties that were only like 7 or 8 weeks old. And so it really was good for them. And you, by the way, did a wonderful job. Even though you were in a mask at the time, you did a wonderful job of sharing with everyone what your passion is and why you do what you do. So why do you do what you do?
Well, I have no idea. Sometimes I really do wonder. But we are a group of volunteers that have come together. I formed a nonprofit, and we are supporting people and pets through the arts. And this has really matured over time. It began because my mother had Alzheimer's, and I wanted to do some significant things with her that would bring her a little bit out of that shell, out of sort of that cloud. And I found that us just sitting together quietly and painting and smiling at each other did that very thing. And it was just a lovely opportunity for me to additionally make memories for myself to tide me over for when I knew she would no longer be in my life.
And you know, Holly, I even know that you volunteered for this fine organization in the past.
I have. I still do when I can, but yeah, I've moved a little bit further away, so it does get a little harder. But they have, and Alex can tell us because they're expanding all the time, but they do have kind of a flagship storefront gallery in the Everett Mall, Everett, Washington.
Yeah, we sure do. We've got a beautiful store here that is hosted by the Everett Mall. It's 875 square feet, where people who are painting with us, whether they buy one of our sketched pictures of a shelter animal and then take it home to paint, or perhaps they'll come to one of our community paint days, which we do the first Saturday of each month, or they'll just find us online and purchase something from us, and all that money goes back to shelters. But then often, about 40% of the time, they'll return those beautiful painted pet portraits to us to help us get the shelter animals seen out of the cages. I like to say out of the cages and in everyday places. The Everett Mall is one of our preeminent galleries, but we are also shown around town in 27 other pop-up galleries, although they're somewhat permanent. That would be the Fred Meyer stores, vets offices, Collector's Choice, banks. We are just trying to be all over the place at once. It's a lot of work, but we're showing a lot of pets. And I believe to date, we are responsible for having over 3,000 pets get new homes because of our galleries and the community that's come together to help them.
And the places that you go to do your classes, like the Alzheimer's care facility in Kent that you were at, it really matters to these folks because they're alone a lot. And when you can bring them together for a common positive thing, it really helps them feel better about themselves. And it's a great community thing. So, and I know it makes your heart warm, especially with that demographic, because some of those faces remind you of your mom.
That is exactly true. Just such kind souls who have been kind of marginalized. People aren't taking the time to be with them. And this brings them out of their shell. One of my first paint days at an Alzheimer's unit, a lady came up to me and she had been so hesitant to speak. And I knew that was because of her Alzheimer's and my experience with my mother. But she grabbed my hand and she looked intently into my eyes. And finally, when she had formed her words, she said to me, "This makes you feel like you're more than you thought you were."
Oh, there's a bumper sticker right there.
Ooh, it was just such a moment for me. And now that we are working with Mary's Place for the Arts, Cocoon House, we're working with Claire's Place, which is chronic homeless to housing. And let me put a plug in. We are now in the Veterans of Foreign War places and auxiliaries because Humana Healthcare has sponsored us to go in there. And I'm from a military family, so that's so heart touching to me to be able to work with these people who may have PTSD, who've returned from a conflict and are working and struggling. In fact, they're still in the war. They're still struggling to get over this. And when they come in and spend a moment quietly painting, realizing they have talent, and perhaps sharing that with their family, or even sitting right next to them as a grandchild who might say, "Grandpa, I never knew you could paint." And you just see the smiles light up across their face. That's why we're doing this. That's why it matters.
And that you're right. That is why it matters, because you can really help a lot of people. And Holly, you've seen that personally.
Firsthand. Yeah. A lot of the events where I volunteered, it was to do the live kind of paint sit type events. And people sometimes would just walk up and participate. Sometimes they would see about it online and then show up. And even when they can't do much, like, we encourage them to just interact with the canvas, even if it's like one splotch of color and you feel good about that splotch, that's enough.
A splotch.
Yep.
That works. Now you said it earlier, Holly, but there's an event coming up that we wanted to highlight because we want everybody to get involved with this.
There is. Yeah. So the reason I reached out to Alex was because they're going to be having, called a scavenger hunt, Alex?
It is. We're calling it the Great Everett Scavenger Hunt. And we know we're going to be successful here. And once we're successful in Everett, we would like to take it otherwheres as well. But this scavenger hunt is going to run through the course of July, every day from July. We're going to have 40 different businesses have a hidden picture. It's not so tough. Let me give you a secret bit of information. It's not going to be so tough to find the pictures. But we're going to have a picture of a shelter pet, a painted shelter pet from one of our community members hidden in each of these 40 merchants. And then we're going to ask the community to be seekers and come find them. It'll be really fun. We're going to keep tallies. We're going to push this on social media and let people know how they're doing. And then there are some prizes at the end. And I would love to tell you who some of the merchants are, but I would like you to ask me too.
That's perfect, because on my 5 W's, one of the questions is who. So that would definitely be right up there.
Okay. Well, the who of the seekers is you all. It's the whole listening audience. It's anybody who wants to participate. And we're going to be eager to have them there. We will have an app made by Proxy that will show you on your phone where you can go to find these merchants. I hope for some team play. I hope you bring your families out. I hope you bring your friends out, your coworkers. And then we're focused in Everett right now. Sure, there'll be one at the Everett Mall showing off our studio. T-Mobile at the Everett Mall will also be working with us. Sinorama, Grocery Outlet Market, our sponsors, Sam's Cats and Dogs, Everett Chevrolet, Everett Pet Nutrition, and I haven't even gotten you to downtown yet. There's some hidden gems in here that I will also tell you about in just a second, but really great people coming on board to do this with us. Shall I keep going and tell you some more?
Absolutely.
Oh, please.
Okay, thank you. Dietrich Coffee is going to be involved with us. We have Flying Pig. We have The Irishman. We have My Toy Store. We've got the fire department of Everett involved with us. Shack Arts is involved. Jag Art Supply, Lucky Dime, Black Lab. I believe, yes, it's true. Imagine Children's Museum is also going to be part of this. And they help 266,000 families a year with their programs. So this whole thing is coming together to be exactly what I had hoped. We are building a community by supporting art benefiting shelter animals. And I haven't even begun to tell you all the names of who's going to be out there, but those are a few.
That's incredible. Where's the best place? So people that want to participate in this awesome month-long scavenger hunt, what's the best point of reference for them to start with?
Well, why don't you come online to our website, PawsWithCause.org, PawsWithCause.org, and under partners, or perhaps we're going to change that navigation point to events, you'll see FAQs and you'll see who's participating and how you get started. And it'll tell you where to download the map. We're also making it available for people who do not have smartphones. We'll have paper maps and punch cards out there for them as well.
Nice.
Do you have are you going to have a grand prize winner or something like that? Who does it first or gets them all? Or, I got a great idea. If there are 40 merchants and stuff, you go and you buy something from each merchant. No, I'm kidding. But it's great for business and for the private sector and for your organization to work together to bring people out. People are, having the COVID and all that kind of good stuff. People need to get out and to see each other and to see new places. I think it's a great thing. I think this is something that can go to multiple cities. Not that I would wish you any more work. I don't know who your salesperson is, but I want to hire him. But it's great that you're doing this. And tell us a little bit about Pause with Cause. How long has it been? How long have you been doing it?
But that's funny. If I can hold that question for a moment, I will, because I want to answer one of your earlier ones. Many of these merchants will be giving coupons for the people who come in, because we are trying to get people to come out of their shells and go back to restaurants, go back to businesses. Come on back, get on out. Let's be social again. So when you walk into Flying Pig or the Irishman, they may be giving you a coupon. You might get something from Zamarama. And you asked about a grand prize, and yes, there is. We have partnered with Aqua Sox, the minor league baseball team, the team that farms for the Mariners, yep. And they're going to be giving 3 $100 gift certificates for merchandise or tickets as the grand prize.
Oh, that is just awesome. That is just awesome. By the way, if you would like to talk to Alex, you can do that, by the way, by giving us a call at 425-373-5527 or 888-298-5569. And you can ask her a question. You can congratulate her. You can talk to Holly. Nobody wants to talk to me, but that's okay. And it's going to be a good thing for everybody. It's a real community event. Who thunk it up?
Well, I thunk it up a few years ago. So you had asked how long we've been doing this.
Oh, yes.
And I have to put a pin in the board and say we got our federal registration as a nonprofit in 2019. So while I had been doing this with my mother, and while I'd been going out to assisted living centers to work with them, years before that, we began doing this in earnest in 2019. Now, I also reflect on that, and I think that was right around when COVID started. We had one good year, and then the COVID years, and this is like dog years in reverse. 1 year.
That's 2 bumper stickers in a row. That's pretty good. Go ahead.
Good. But it's like 1 year that we looked at things and we thought, are we going to fail now because we can't do events? And we decided, no, we're not going to fail. We're just going to go to the people where they are, because they have even more need for something that is relaxing and therapeutic in nature. And this is something Holly called out early on when she was volunteering with us, how very therapeutic this is. And that's what we like to focus on. So that was when we created the Sit, Stay, and Play at-home paint kit, which we sell at farmers markets. And last year we were lucky enough to have been able to sell the equivalent of 32,000 pet meals in money. So I'm not talking real money. Well, it takes 50 cents a day to feed an animal in a shelter. So we were able to get $16,000 and supply 32,000 worth of pet meals for their local shelters.
Oh, that's really cool. By the way, if you coming out of COVID now, and a lot of people live alone like I do, And some people are lonesome and would like to adopt a pet and like to adopt somebody. And if you go to PawsWithCause.org, they've got a adoption page, and you can go there, and there's lots and lots of kitties and puppies and dogs and cats that need a home. And quite frankly, it would be great for you. She's also working with, I don't know, how many shelters are you working with? The list, I can't count them. It's so long.
It's over 50 now. And yeah, that adoption page will show you some of the current animals out there. And we will often, since we're a painting company and not a shelter, we will often refer people to a couple wonderful websites. One is called adoptapet.com, and it has filters in it, and you can write in exactly what you're looking for: a dog, a cat, a bat, or a rat. You can write in whether or not there's really no bats out there. I made that up.
I thought so.
But you can say what age, what breed, what color, and all the animals that are out in shelters will come up. Shelters are supplying these animals out there now so that more people will see them, more will notice them, and we will be able to get even more animals adopted. So while we don't adopt, you can see some of those worthy animals on our website, and then you can find out more about them at adoptapet.com or Pet Finder. And these are your local shelters. And these animals are so wonderful. They might have had to leave because somebody went to a retirement center, or a young person went off to college, or they just didn't fit in the family anymore. But they're medically evaluated. All their shots are there. They've been spayed and neutered. You're going to get a wonderful, wonderful animal by getting one from a shelter.
Well, I'm toying with the idea. I'll tell you that right now.
I know the last few animals that I've had, I adopted. And one thing I liked is that the amount of energy it took to, like, they were already trained, they were not bouncing off the walls. So a lot of that learning curve and the hard part of getting a new pet is actually a little bit less so when you can get a pet that's an adult instead of a puppy or a kitten.
Besides it, getting a kitten or a puppy plays hell with the furniture.
It really can. Well, I would love to talk about there on this article that I mentioned earlier. This is the WebMD article. It was reviewed by Dr. Brennan on October 25th, 2021. It has the trivia quiz information on it for when Kevin lets me know to give away the prize from his sponsor. But it does talk about 4 different types of volunteering in it, which I loved that they outlined, especially because someone like Alex, who founded PawsWithCause, does all these types. So she has bridged the gap with technology and overcome many barriers to be able to let all kinds of different people at different ability levels participate with PawsWithCause. And the first one is called traditional volunteering. Do you want to guess, Kevin, what that includes?
It includes traditional volunteering.
Exactly.
See?
Alex, you want to speak on that?
Well, not having read the article, I will just say we get a lot of wonderful people all the time contacting us, and they may have a little bit of time, or they may be newly retired, and they just want to know where they can fit in and use their energy, perhaps their background, and come in to do, we have a slogan, do more good. And they want to come in and do more good. And I'm always just so enchanted by meeting these people and their kindness and their willingness to step outside of what they might normally do and try something new.
Exactly. No, that's what it said. It was donating time. So that was the first category. The second category, which I didn't even think about, but I had done this when I was younger. Many of our listeners may have done this as well. It's called gap year volunteering. So a lot of times students, when they have weeks or months where they're not engaged in school, use that gap time to do something else to help build their experience, their resumes. Volunteering a lot of times helps with scholarships. I actually got some scholarships from volunteering when I was in college. So that's a great one for people to think about. And Alex has opportunities for younger people as well. The third one is called voluntourism. So that one is a combination of tourism and volunteering. PawsWithCause does have a vast network of locations where there's galleries. So if you want to tour some galleries, they could probably use your voluntourism in that way. And the fourth one was the online volunteering. So with that one, a lot of times people are homebound, but they can do everything online. Alex, what kind of online participation do you have for volunteers?
Oh, there's always organization. I need a lot of that in my life. Putting together the next plan for a rotation of a gallery is another one. So well-asked question. In addition to that, we actually use a lot of people from all over this area, but not only just this area. I made a mistake once when I was putting a request for volunteers up on something called Volunteer Match, and I forgot to put a zip code in, and it was the happiest accident I have ever made. I was so stunned and surprised when I was asking for light formatting work, and all of a sudden I got emails back from people all across the United States, absolutely the kind of gap year that you were talking about earlier, Holly, people and young adults who needed service hours for school, which I'm able to give as a nonprofit. And I think the most shocking moment was when I got calls from and emails from Canada, and then Abu Dhabi, and then Uganda, and then Budapest. And it was like, okay, we can do this. So still to this day, honestly, Pause with Cause, even though we're very localized with big dreams, but very localized, we have people helping us from all over the world, people who care about animals, who want to help out with the crisis of too many animals in the shelters right now, and help us get to a no-kill status all across the United States and all across the planet.
That is a wonderful goal. We don't have to do away with excess pets because there aren't any. That really would be cool.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am a little surprised by these facts and figures. I'm very pleased that 67% of Americans have a companion animal in their homes, and every year 5% get a new one. So of that 5%, that means 17 million people are looking for a shelter or are looking for a pet at any given time. And there's only 6 million in the shelters. So the opposite should be true. So what I really want to ask your audience is, consider the next time that you're ready for a companion animal, consider looking in the shelters, because they are behaviorally sound, they are medically cared for. And in addition to that, it is highly likely that if you're looking for a purebred, there may be one in there. 20 to 25% of the shelter animals are purebreds now, possibly because of the puppy mills or just because someone had to give them up. So please don't discount the shelters. Think about the shelters first.
I think you should always go check the shelters out first, because those animals have got, some of them, if it's a kill shelter, they've got a limited life. And so we need to work with that. Go ahead, Alex, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I only like to tell the happy stories because the bad ones break my heart.
Right.
But we do have a lot of people who are bringing the animals up to Washington State because we're so good at getting them homes, and we are a no-kill state. The majority of the animals that are euthanized are in 5 specific states. And as soon as we get completely through with the pandemic, I hope that that's where our outreach goes first, to show those folks how wonderful those animals are and that they should be adopting as well. And I can't pretend to know all the variables that are involved in that, but helping every animal is a goal.
I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm just going to say it anyway, because if there are 5 states, I'll bet you one of them's Texas.
Unfortunately, it is. Yes.
Another one's Arkansas.
Yes.
I'm 2 for 2. Do I win anything?
Well, if no one else calls in, Kevin, I can give you our prize. But if someone does want to try to call in to be on tap and ready for the trivia quiz prize, what is that phone number again?
425-373. You're doing good. 425-373-5527 or 888-298-5569. As a matter of fact, one of our sponsors, they be a call-in. So we're going to take a quick break and talk to our sponsors. Please remember that the sponsors on KKNW, all of them are supporting this station so that they can bring programs to you like this. And so please support the sponsors as you hear them, especially in natural design. So we're going to take a break, and we will be right back after these short commercial messages.
Do you believe in the combination of brain work and spirituality? Her grace and sense of humor have made Allison Roberts highly sought after. She's a cognitive behavioral expert with natural intuition. Allison has guided thousands of people all over the world to find their internal power. Visit ALLYSONROBERTS.com for your free guided meditation today.
Hey, thanks for listening to Positive Talk Radio on KKNW. If you like what we're doing here, evolving ideas one conversation at a time, we have so much more to offer you on positivetalkradio.net. Over 130 shows and growing. Great positive guests and many thoughts and ideas designed to help you and your family live life just a little bit better. Hey, you can even contribute to our work by becoming a member and receiving lots of cool stuff. You should check it out. I'm Kevin McDonald, and I created PTR because now's the time for positive change, and nothing else matters. Again, visit positivetalkradio.net, and thanks for listening.
When you want to say more than words communicate, you can with flowers. Your custom boutique floral studio in Bothell, Washington is anaturaldesign.com, connecting you to nature through the language of flowers. Where your people are is where our flowers are beautiful. Your success is our goal. Now through New Year's Eve, here's your exclusive bonus for being our appreciated listener. Type in promo code Positive Talk Radio at checkout to receive $20 off your order. Our gift to you for being here with us today. anaturaldesign.com.
Have you ever said, "How did I do this again?" Want to create your own powerful life? Well, Allison Roberts can help resolve the issues that keep repeating by creating a new outcome. She is one of the top 100 coaches in the world and will help you achieve your dreams. Email her at allison@allisonroberts.com or visit allisonroberts.com and receive a free guided meditation and discover all of her ongoing programs and events. And welcome back to Positive Talk Radio. It's a Wednesday afternoon. We're just darn happy that you're here because we've got a great show for you today. We're talking with Alex Frazier from PawsWithCause, and it's a program that she's got that marries painting and people and pets and all of that so that she has kids paint together and elderly people paint together. It really is a great program. And Holly Berry is here as well. If you want to give us a call, you can do that now, because Holly, what are they going to get if they give us a call?
So Natural Design, one of your sponsors, is giving away $100 floral arrangements. They're based out of Bothell, Washington. So the only requirement is that whoever you're trying to send it to is within about 20 miles of Bothell, Washington. But other than that, all you have to do is call in and you have to guess our trivia question correctly. And we can wait on this as long as you want to. We can even make this go to the next show if we don't have callers. But the way they can find that answer to the trivia question is on WebMD. There's an article called Mental Benefits of Volunteering. The date on it is reviewed last on October 25th, 2021 by Dr. Dan Brennan. And I'll give a hint. It's just 8%. There's a percent I have a question on. And if someone calls in with the matching percent number on there, they get that $100 floral arrangement.
Oh, that is darn generous of you and stuff. So that's really great. And so if you call in now, you can, do we want to give them the trivia question and then have them call in? What do we want to do?
With that, yeah, we can put the trivia question out. We can see if anybody hears it, if they call in, if they find it, and then up to you. Like if someone hears the show later and we still haven't given it away and they want to like contact you on your website, I think your sponsor is more than happy to provide that as well. So the trivia question is about what percent of adults in the United States volunteer. That number, that percent number we're referring to is on WebMD. It's an article called Mental Benefits of Volunteering. And you can find that there. If you know that number, if you call in and let us know, we'll get your information and then we'll contact you to find out where you want that $100 floral arrangement sent to.
That is way cool. By the way, when I started this show 20 years ago, I was in my 40s. Now I'm 64, and I'm in the age group that a lot of people are retiring from the work that they've done for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And then they're thinking to themselves, well, I'm going to go travel, and I'm going to work in the yard, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And then about 3 weeks in, they go, This is really boring. I'm tired of this. I need to go do something. I need to give meaning to my life. It's not over yet. I'm only 65 or 66 and a half or whatever it is, and you want to give meaning to it. And volunteering is a great way for you to be able to do that and to give you satisfaction that you wouldn't otherwise have. Alex Frazier is here, and am I correct in that? Do you see, when you have people coming to volunteer, do you see like a light in their eyes that wasn't there before because they're doing something that is outside of themselves that is really good for other people?
Yeah, I sure do. So doing something outside of themselves, that's very well put, Kevin. Getting out there and being within the community, giving a piece of yourself. And then there's something else in all of this as well. People don't realize that they do have a natural talent, whether it was born in themselves, whether they learned it through their work, and extending that talent to others in the everyday world of volunteerism. Mentorship is what I'm talking about. I'm actually at the mall right now, and I have a team working together with some honor students from National Honor Society, with some other people, and they're all working together and they're collaborating right now on the best way to run this scavenger hunt. They're mentoring each other, and we're passing along life skills to one another as we do this. We actually have a organizational manager who came in to volunteer with us, and she's helping these National Honor Society kids get that little bit extra, that next bit of something that's going to help them in their road to success in their life.
Do you find that the kids that come and the kids that paint and the kids that volunteer, that they're just as excited as the old people are?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Me being one of those old people, so I can say that term, old people.
Yeah, I think you got yourself in the wrong age bracket there.
Yes, indeed. But they're all excited about it, and they're happy to do it, aren't they?
Yeah, they absolutely are. And it's just so surprising when you see one of them start to come out of their shell. And honestly, that's young or old. When they start to come out of their shell because they're in an environment where they feel appreciated, valued, and that they know they're making a difference. That's the kind of thing that matters.
Absolutely. Holly?
Yeah, well, one of the things about volunteering is that the more you do it, the happier you become. So there are all kinds of awesome studies and research where they talk about things like the helper's high. It's a feeling that people have after volunteering where they have like a prolonged calmness, a reduction in stress, a greater sense of self-worth. And if you've, been just working 9 to 5, and had no extra time to participate in non-survival activities, a lot of times you forget that something like that even exists, that it is even out there, and that it costs no money to do. You can connect with a nonprofit like PawsWithCause. And what's the website again, Alex?
It is PawsWithCause.org, PawsWithCause.org.
And show up and participate and just have like a natural antidepressant, like no prescription, no money required. It's a natural high.
Absolutely. Now I know that we all have folks and relatives and people that we know that are a little, more seasoned than others. And a lot of times you get stuck in your little world and you don't break out of that little world because your friends are busy and your family's busy and stuff. This is a great way to make a whole bunch of new friends, to discover a talent that you maybe didn't even know you had, or you can work with other people and help them develop their talent. So if Alex, you have people that work and are able to do sketches and then people then can paint, and how does that all work? How do you put that all together?
Oh, that's a big question. So you did hit on something really important, though. You don't actually have to be an artist to volunteer with us. It's not all about art. And you can give anything, even your time, a smile. We have a group called the Art Docents, and you'd think that they'd be very well trained in art. But my criteria for them is be kind, be patient, and have a sense of humor. That's all it takes. You don't want to be trained in the way of a fine artist. You want to be trained in your way. So just getting together and having the opportunity to test a new skill, getting together and sharing a smile and making a new friend. All of those are something that's available when you're volunteering with anybody, but with us as well. How do we put them together? We have job descriptions like anybody. We have orientation sessions. I will respond to you if you email info@PawsWithCause.org, and I'll be the first one to respond and just say, tell me about yourself. Tell me what your passion is, or just come to an orientation meeting. And often the first time, if somebody's comfortable, we ask them just to paint with us, because that sets the tone of who we want to be, a very giving charitable organization that's looking out for those who are coming in to work with us.
Holly?
Well, I know we're getting down to the end of the show, so I just want to put the phone number out there again. So callers that heard earlier the question is about what volunteer percent of adults in the United States actively engage in volunteering. The phone number for that $100 prize is to call in and guess the percent right. It's 425-373-5527, and we'll get your information, and those flowers can go out tomorrow. Anyone you want them to go to within a 20-mile radius of the sponsor, Natural Designs shop, and compliments of Kevin's sponsor.
Now, by the way, I'd like to publicly thank the sponsor for that, because that is really way cool, and it's an opportunity for you to be able to send flowers to somebody that you love. And especially with, I don't know if you've noticed, but guess what's coming up on Sunday? It's Father's Day. So that might not be a bad day to be thinking about it. You know what I mean? And so I want to thank the sponsor for doing that. And Alex, I want to thank you too, because for doing what you do. Because it started off with just, hey, I don't know, what do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? I know, let's make a nonprofit and let's make it big and to help a bunch of people. That's how it started, right?
Yeah, kind of how it started. Well, it started with my mother. And then after that, right, it was, yes, let's all come together and do this because it's working. Just like my friend Carol said, it makes you feel like you're more than you thought you were. So let's all come together and help these animals and enjoy art. And by the way, I'm an 8th grade art failure. So don't think
that surprises me.
Yes. My 8th grade art teacher told me very kindly, why don't you go into business, honey?
like my drama teacher told me that I could sing in a choir of 50 or more. That was rather defeating. But by the way, and Holly, let's address the percentage again.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that the percentage. Well, let's make this easier for folks.
Wait. Just,
go ahead.
I think we should give them a few more minutes because
okay.
I don't want you to guess it right, and then you'll win the prize and they won't get it.
But then I get to get it, and then
I know.
Since my children don't buy me anything, I can get flowers sent to me. But no, I'm willing to bet that the percentage is less than 50%.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yes.
Which is unfortunate. And I'm willing to also bet that it's far, far, far less than 50%. That's all I'm going to give you.
Okay. I love it. Well, and we will get to that number very soon. While we're letting the callers get the last few minutes to get the phone number again, it's 425-373-5527. You can find out more information about Kevin and all his amazing interview guests at positivetalkradio.net. And then I have one more little fun fact thing that was on the WebMD article that I wanted to throw out there for volunteers. So if you're listening, if you're considering volunteering for PawsWithCause.org or participating in the scavenger hunt and want to find out more about volunteering, there are some fun questions to ask yourself that'll really help you align well with the type of volunteering that you can go find and get connected to. It'll be more successful for you. You'll enjoy it more, and it'll be more successful for the company that you're volunteering for. So the first one is, do I want to do something that's aligned with my professional skill set or something completely different? And that's a great one to think about. Sometimes people want to do something they know they can do really well. Sometimes people want to have a new experience, get a whole new, fresh take on life. The second one is, do I want to volunteer in person or remotely? PawsWithCause.org is a great organization because they have every avenue of volunteerism that you can consider. We talked about the 4 different main types earlier. And the third is, do I want a one-time engagement, a reoccurring, a long-term, or just like remote? And that is the 3 questions to ask yourself when you go to call in case you wins. Oh, we got a caller.
Yes,
awesome.
We do.
Okay, go for it, Kevin.
And you can also give us a call at 425-373-5527. And we're going to talk to Stephen from Parts Unknown. Stephen, how are you today?
I'm good. Thanks so much.
Oh, very good. Are you enjoying the show? It makes my heart warm to solicit compliments.
Yeah, no, totally. It's been interesting. I haven't really thought all that much about volunteering in the creative spaces, and it opens up some ideas. So that's kind of interesting to hear about.
So tell me how smart you are by coming up with a percentage. Let Holly come to say the question again.
Sure. Yeah. The question we posed was, what % of adults in the United States volunteer? The resource I was referring to is a WebMD article called Mental Benefits of Volunteering.
Well, I don't know how smart I am.
Well, if you can Google, apparently you might be.
That's what I was hoping.
My job recently, we're going through the whole volunteer thing and picking projects to do. And so they had some materials posted there, but the number they had was like 26% or something low, pretty low actually. So
where's the sound effect, Kevin? We need the bell. Awesome.
Apparently, Stephen, you have won the prize for today. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I wonder if they use the same study in the materials.
They very well may have. This was one of the first articles that popped up when I went to research it for the show today. So it looks like we have your phone number. We have your name. I'll follow up with you and get you connected so the sponsor has all the information to be able to send you your awesome prize. Do you know how you're going to use it or who you might send it to?
I think my wife will enjoy it quite a bit.
Aw.
That's awesome. Politically correct.
Yeah, it is.
I get to see it too, so it's a win-win.
Yes. So is Father's Day coming up for you?
Not for me, but for my dad. So there is that.
Well, very nice, and I wish your dad a very happy Father's Day.
Will do, and the same to you if it applies.
It does, although now my children are in their 30s, so the only time they show up is when they say, "Dad, can you get your checkbook out, please?" So
that makes sense.
Yes, indeed. So thank you, Stephen, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed the show.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Well, Alex, we did it. We gave it away.
Congratulations. And Stephen said something really important about volunteerism through your employer. Global social responsibility is up and coming, and this is how the employers let their employees know that they value them. So more and more I'm seeing that, and it's a tremendous benefit to us when we can get on the HR or the employer's list of volunteer places.
So explain that to me again, just in case somebody missed that, because I just missed that.
Okay, I would love to, and I was trying to be brief. Global social responsibility is something more and more that employers are looking into, how they can help their employees feel satisfied with their job. And it comes out that it's not just giving extra break time or putting snacks in the lunchroom. It's also by being committed to the environment around you, the social environment around you, and allowing paid time off for volunteerism. Not only does that help the individual become part of his community and give a sense of satisfaction to them through their employer, but it helps us, those receiving the volunteers. We get recognized by that company. Sometimes there's even a stipend for that from that company to us. Nordstrom sends us a small little check every month because some of their employees volunteer with us. So it's a whole circle benefit that's really been wonderful for us to have employers and their HR departments list us on their rosters of potential places to volunteer for.
So let me get this straight. You can be working for a company now. I do have to tell you, my dad was an executive with Nordstrom for 40 years, and my sister worked for them for 35 years, and they're good company, and they do take care. But you're telling me that Nordstrom will give somebody paid time off to go volunteer somewhere else other than where they're working. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that correct?
Every business, every corporation has their own set of guidelines around it. And I know that we have had that experience with Expedia. I know that one for a fact, paid time off to volunteer and do the work. I believe Holly may have some information also from a Microsoft guideline that applies to that. And through Nordstrom, I know that when that individual volunteers their time for us, we actually get a little stipend from Nordstrom for their work.
That is really, really cool. I'm glad that there are some corporations that are doing that. Holly, what is Microsoft doing?
Yeah. So this connection for Alex, she and my significant other who rally races, like does rally car racing, have connected. So he sponsoring her logo on the side of his car right now. And anytime that he volunteers for PawsWithCause.org and registers it on the website with Microsoft through like the employee portal, Microsoft will help give money to Pause with Cause.
Now, isn't that cool? I am so glad that there are some civic-minded corporations out there that are working to give back, because after all, we are all in this together, and if we can work together to accomplish great things happen a lot easier. Alex?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And these corporations can be big or small, and if they don't feel like they have the wherewithal to run this on their own, I would suggest they look into two companies of which I'm aware. One is Benevity. The other is Greater Good Foundation. And those are all companies that will set this all up for the corporation and run it for them so that they don't have to go outside of what their normal business routine is, but can still join in and have a sense of volunteerism, which pays back their employees.
And by the way, you can also use that in your advertising, and that you're a community-based company and all that kind of stuff. So, there's lots of good that can come from it. And I hope that you'll take the opportunity. If you're a business owner out there, and you don't have to be a large corporation, you can be a mom and pop, and you can give what you can do, and you can help, and you can get some publicity back on the other side. Matter of fact, I would be talking, if I was a business owner. Well, wait a minute, I am. But if I had a brick and mortar, which is, like a building and stuff, I would be calling Alex to have her paintings in my place so that I can offer people a discount or coupons, something to generate business, and it works for everybody, and everybody wins. That is the best way to go, is when everybody wins, right?
Absolutely. And I love that idea. And I think you're kind of leaning me back toward the scavenger hunt, which is going to start on July 1st. And we're going to put pictures up at these 40 local businesses. So picture this, if you will. You're going to downtown Everett for an evening, and you might stop by a restaurant, see a picture, stop and have an appetizer, go another place, have a dinner, stop at a third, and have a dessert, and get coupons to be back to those places. So picture this great evening out, finding pictures on our scavenger hunt.
Yep, and you can make a night of it. You can go and have some coffee, and then go to an art gallery, and then go look for furniture and stuff like that, and then go to a restaurant and go to a dessert place. You can have lots of fun. It could be kind of a fun evening for everybody. It's a great way to get the family together,
especially if the whole community's involved. So challenge your competitor. If you're in a business, challenge your competitor, or challenge your nemesis in the office. Get everybody out doing this.
Exactly. So Alex Frazier from Pause with Cause. Go to PawsWithCause.org. Find out all the information about the scavenger hunt and everything. Holly Berry, I have to give you a moment to just say hello to our audience, and they're going to hear from you a lot more in the future.
Hello. No, I'm excited about it. The segment that we did today, we're kind of trying to do a soft launch on Angels Among Us would be the theme of it. And I'm excited. I'm excited to meet more good people that are doing amazing things, because I want to know these people. I want the world to know these people. And you'll be able to listen again once we get this show uploaded. If you missed any of the information, if you have more questions, if you want to know how to reach Alix, because you can volunteer for her from around the world, it is going to be up on our website at PawsWithCause.net.
And I want to just thank you, and thank you, Alix, for coming here and doing this. This is really our attempt. Angels Among Us is really my attempt to give back to the community. And if you go to PawsWithTalkRadio.net, we interviewed a gal that has another program that is way up north in like Stanwood or someplace, and it's 100 women that get together and they put together $100 each, and then they award a nonprofit 3 times a year. They've raised $102,000. That is the kind of grassroots program, and what Alix does, that can really make a difference in our world. And I implore you to do that. And now that I've talked so much, we've run out of time. So Holly Berry, thank you for being here. Alix Frazier, go to PawsWithCause.
PawsWithCause.
Did I say
PawsWithCause?
What did I say? Never mind. So be kind to one another, everybody. Take care of each other. Volunteer, and we'll see you Friday at noon.